Hi everyone, welcome to this new live streaming. Hi Silvano, hi Shunsuke, hi Jean, Telmo, hi Adam. Happy to see you here tonight, and I would like to go on with this workout. I hope you like and you understand the concepts that we are talking about. And as always, I prefer to talk about things first, and if you have questions, ask them at the end, please. So today I would like to start. We always will talk about arpeggios, modes, and then chords. And this is the third appointment, sorry, of this major turnaround workout, episode 3. I just would like to say this to people who just entered the group, and we are working using these 3 books that I wrote, from which we learn all the diagrams, all the positions for arpeggios, modes, and for inversions, chord inversions. Okay. Well, just to begin, I would like to talk about arpeggios. In the first episode, we talked about inversions, how to play arpeggios in different inversions. I would like to remind that we are just working on these 4 chords, which are C major 7, A minor 7, D minor 7, and G7, which are the major turnaround in C major. And in the first episodes I explained the concept about chords, so if you haven't seen them, I suggest you to go and see and watch the first episodes of this series of videos. And today I would like to explain how to use arpeggios in a little different way, so not difficult as always, but because I always prefer to go up in steps, easy steps, to understand what we use and to understand how to be able to use this stuff in an easy way. Okay, so usually we play arpeggios from the root up to the root, or from the third to the third, or from the fifth to the fifth, or from the 7 to the 7. These are inversions. But today I would like to talk about how to use these arpeggios, changing the order for the notes. But before doing this, I would like to show you some positions. These are the positions that I suggest to you to learn from the book Arpeggi nei box di 5 tasti, schemi per chitarra, arpeggi nei box di 5 tasti, and I show you these positions right now. So we are working now in the box from the 8th to the 12th fret, so this is the position. In the first episode we worked in the box from the 3rd to the 7th, then in the second episode in the box from the 5th to the, from the 3rd to the 7th, yes, that's correct. In the second episode we worked from the 5th to the 9th fret, and today we work from the 8th to the 12th fret, and we always work in these boxes made of 5 frets, because in this way we have the chromatic scale, so we have all of the tones that we can we want and we can play in music. These are the 4 arpeggios that I suggest to you to learn this week. And starting from C, C major 7 is made like this. I play it one more time for you. On the book you will find the degrees for each note, which is very important to learn, to understand, but I also suggest to learn notes, of course. So here we start from C, so we have C, E, G, B, C, and so on. Then we play A minor 7th, starting from the 3rd. So one more time starting from C, and we play this position. One more time. Then we go to D minor 7, the 2nd degree, the chord built on the 2nd degree, and we start from the 7th, C. One more time. And then we play G7, the dominant 7th chord, starting from the 5th, from D. These are the positions that I suggest to you to learn this week. So we are going to, we worked from the 3rd fret, so we now know about these chords, a lot of arpeggios, different arpeggios, and we are also know fingerings for the scales and positions for chords. And so we are going to learn a lot of things in these positions, in these frets, okay? But today I would like to talk about how to use these arpeggios in a different way. And I would like to show you this document, this file, just a moment. This one, okay. So this is the new concept that I would like to explain. As you can see, in this first measure, we find the normal arpeggio, the arpeggio root 3rd, 5th, major 7th, and root one more time for C major 7th. In measure 2, we find the same notes, but played in a different order. So we start from the root, but then we play the 5th. So we don't play the 3rd. Then we play the 3rd, and we don't play the 5th, but we play the 7th. Then we play the 5th, we don't play the 7th, and we play the root. So instead of playing this sound, which is the arpeggio, we play this. Okay, and you can do the same starting from the 3rd, so this will be a first inversion. You start from the 3rd, and instead of playing this one, which is the arpeggio played from the 3rd, 5th, 7th, root, and 3rd, we jump one. We don't play one note. I call this arpeggio in thirds, also, if these are not thirds, but it's a similar idea, similar to what we do with the scales when we don't play the 2nd note. Okay, in this way we start playing the 3rd, the 7th, then the 5th, the root, major 7th, and 3rd. And of course we can do the same starting from the 5th, and this is the arpeggio that we find out, or starting from the 7th and do the same. Okay, so we find out these solutions. This is the full arpeggio, but I just play starting from the root, and then starting from the 3rd, from the 5th, from the 7th, one more time from the root, from the 3rd, and then I can do the same reverse from the highest note. So I play the 3rd, the 7th, the root, the 5th, the 7th and the 3rd. Then I can start from the root, then from the 7th, from the 5th, from the 3rd, from the root. Okay, so these are arpeggios, but I play these arpeggios in a different order. The notes have been played in a different way. I can do the same on A minor 7th. Here I start from the 3rd, but it's always the same concept. I start from the 3rd, I play the 7th, then the 5th, the root, the 7th, the 3rd. Then I start from the 5th, from the 7th, from the root, from the 3rd, from the 5th. And I do the same starting from the highest note, then from the 3rd, from the root, from the 7th, from the 5th, from the 3rd. Then I do the same from D minor, for D minor 7th, starting from the 7th, root, 3rd, 5th, 7th, root, coming back from the 5th, from the 3rd, from the root, and from the 7th. And the same on G7th, from the 5th, from the 7th, from the root, from the 3rd, from the 5th, and that's it. And then coming back from the 5th, from the 3rd, from the root, from the 7th, from the 5th, and that's it. Okay, in this way I learned these different arpeggios, and the more I practice them, the more I will be able to use them during my improvisation, and the improvisation will not sound anymore like an improvisation using just arpeggios, but a little different, because sounds are in a different order and our ears can't recognize this as a normal arpeggio. Okay. But I would like to suggest you a different exercise to practice also with this, which is this one. As you can see here in this bar, I use the same notes because I'm always playing C, G, and then E, B, G, and C, like in this measure. Okay, I'm using this measure, but the second two notes are played in the different order. While here you find E and then B, here you find B and then E. So I go up with this interval and I come down with this interval and then up with this interval. And in this measure I do the same that I'm doing in this measure, but the second two notes are always inverted. So I play the first two notes, then the second two notes, and then the third two notes. And I do the same starting from here and from here, starting from the 5th and starting from the 7th. Okay, so if I would like to show you, if I show you this on guitar, I'm just doing this. Instead of playing, I'm playing. And then when I start from the 3rd, when I start from the 5th, from the 7th, from the root one more time, from the 3rd, and of course I can do the same reverse, starting from the highest note. So I go down, then up, and from this, and from this, from here, from here, and from here. And I can do the same with all of these arpeggios. In this way I start to learn different ways to play arpeggios. And of course all of these exercises that I suggest can be done on each fingering that we learned in the past episodes of this series. Then we can start playing these arpeggios starting from common tones, like we did in the second episode of this series. So if I start from here, this is the third E note, for the third for C major 7th, but it's also the fifth for A minor 7th. So I can play C major 7 starting from here, or A minor 7 starting from here. And I can play this kind of idea. Here all of the intervals are always played going down. Then I go to A minor 7. Then, to play D minor 7, I have to start from D, which is the root. And G7 can be played from D, which is the fifth. So, 4 arpeggios sound like this. As you can see, I'm using always close notes, but in a different order they sound a little bit different from the arpeggios that we always play. And of course I can do this starting from each note, so now I can start from the root and play C major 7, then A minor 7, then D minor 7, and then G7 from the third. Okay. And I can do this in each fingering that I learned. It's really easy. And as you can see here, I'm not playing just notes going up, but I'm playing couple of notes, 2 notes each time. And if I only concentrate my attention in playing just 2 of these notes, for example on C major 7 I just played these 2 notes. And then on A minor 7 I played these 2 notes. And on D minor 7 I played these 2 notes. And on G7 I played just these 2 notes. Here I'm using just the first 2 notes in this kind of exercise, but you can anyway hear the sound of harmony just playing these 2 notes, and this is really important. We can imagine the turnaround. And of course, then I can start from here, from the root for C major 7. And on A minor 7 I play the same 2 notes. But on D minor 7 I play. And on G7 I play. Then I have. Okay. Now I will try to play these 2 notes using the backing tracks, just to show you how it sounds good in some way. And this is really easy, but not so easy, because you have to be really concentrated and you have to practice these exercises first to be able to choose always the correct notes, the 2 correct notes, or 4 correct notes if you become faster. Okay, so D minor 7th and G7, C, A minor 7, D, G, C, A minor 7, D minor 7, G7, C, A minor 7, D minor 7, G7, C major 7, A minor 7, sorry, D minor 7, G7, C major 7, A minor 7, D minor 7, G7, C major 7, A minor 7, D minor 7, G7, C major 7, A minor 7, D minor 7, G7, and C major 7 one more time. Okay, so it's easy, but not so easy because we have to control all of the notes. If we just play one chromatic approach to these two notes, it starts to become more jazzy. And in this way, I'm starting to use arpeggios doing something different, not just playing arpeggios up and down, but asking myself to connect these arpeggios, like we did in the past episode, where we played all of the inversions starting from common tones. Of course, this is something more difficult because we have to look for the next note, not the closest note in the arpeggio. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you about arpeggios. And it's easy, but remember that you can practice this everywhere. I usually do these exercises like this. C major 7th, coming back, A minor 7, D minor 7, and G7. And of course I can do this starting from each note, so caring about inversions, so in a more precise way. Therefore I start from the 5th for C major, for example, then the 7th, then the root, then the 3rd, then the 5th, and so on, and the same coming down. And then I can ask myself to play the whole arpeggio, one couple of notes up, one couple of notes down, and the same coming back, and so on. And then I do the same on different fingerings on the fretboard. And this is just one exercise. I also practice this with harmonic intervals. Then I go to A minor 7, D minor 7th, G7th, and in this way I usually have always fifths or tritones or fourths, but I never have sixths or sevenths in this kind of arpeggios. So the sound of these arpeggios is a little bit different. This is what I wanted to explain about arpeggios. I just check the internet to understand who is here. Ciao Yang, ciao Hong, ciao Stefano, and happy to see you here. Let's go on, and now I would like to talk about modes, because we always talk about modes. And of course we can learn these positions from the book. Remember, this is another book. This is Modi nei box di 5 tasti. These are books written in Italian, but you just have one page written, and then you have all of the diagrams to learn. So you don't need to know Italian to use these books, okay? Of course, we are learning in this box the C major scale, but it's really important to be able to know where the degrees are in relationship with each chord. As you can see here, we are using for C major 7 the Ionian mode, for A minor 7 we use the Aeolian mode, D minor 7 we use the Dorian mode, and for G7 we use the Mixolydian mode. And here I play the C major scale, and within this shape, within this diagram, I have all 4 the modes, because the modes are always made using the notes taken from the C major scale. But what is really important is that we have the degrees in relationship with each chord. In fact, in the past episode, episode 2, I explained the theory about modes. So if you don't know the theory, go back and watch that video to learn the theory of this for these 4 modes. And it's really important to connect the degrees with the fingering. And in the book you will find for each note the degree. Of course, it's also important to learn names for each note. But degrees are what changes here, because usually here we have the same notes for each mode, while from chord to chord we have different degrees in relationship with the harmony. Starting from C, we have root, major second, major third, perfect fifth, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major sixth, major seventh, and root one more time. While if I play the Aeolian mode, I start from the 6th, but it's the root for A minor 7. So it's the root, major second, minor third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, minor 6th, minor 7th, and root one more time. And if I play D Dorian, I start from D and I play root, major second, minor third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major 6th, minor 7th, and root one more time. And if I play G7, I start from the root, G, then I play the major second, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major 6th, minor 7th, and root. So these are different degrees that you can learn from these diagrams in a really clear way. Today I would like to share with you the one first lick that we can learn, a really easy lick that we can learn on each mode. And this lick is not a musical lick, it's not something to play during an improvisation. It's a kind of exercise, but it will really help us to understand something about modes. This is what I wanted to show you. This is the file. And as you can see here, we are playing for each mode the arpeggio going up to the root, and then from the root we come back playing the 13th, playing the perfect 11th, the major 9th, and then we go back to the arpeggio sounds and we play the 3rd and the 5th. So we are just like if this pattern was made from kind of relax, tension, and relax one more time. So we play just chordal tones, then we come back here, we go down here using extensions, the 13th, the 11th, and the 9th, and then one more time we go to the arpeggio sounds. And we can do the same on the Aeolian mode, and then we will play sounds from the arpeggio, and then we go back, we come down, playing the flat 13th, the perfect 4th, and the major 9th, and then we re-enter the sound of the arpeggio. We do the same for the Dorian mode. As you can see, it's the same, always the same kind of idea. And we do the same on the Mixolydian mode for G7. So the Dorian mode is for D minor 7, the Mixolydian mode is for G7. Okay, so this is a really easy concept, not difficult at all. But if we play this lick in all the fingerings that we learned in the past episode and in the future fingerings that we will learn next, the modes will become more clear for us. So if I play C major 7th, I start from the root, 3rd, 5th, major 7th, root one more time, and then I come back, the 13th, the 11th, the 9th, the 3rd, and the 5th. Of course, I can play the same an octave higher. Then I play the same lick on the 6th degree. So I play the arpeggio up to the root, and then I come back. I do the same on D minor 7th. You can play the same higher. Then I play the same lick on G7. Okay, now if I play each one, C major 7, A minor Dorian, Aeolian, the A minor Aeolian, D minor Dorian, G Mixolydian, of course I can do the same on each fingering, so Aeolian, Dorian, Mixolydian, another fingering, Ionian, Ionian, Aeolian, Dorian, Mixolydian, and so on. So this is a first lick that helps me to learn arpeggio and then extensions and arpeggio one more time. In each episode I will explain a different lick now to learn these modes in a more deep way. Okay, so this is what I wanted to explain about modes in this appointment, in this episode. And now I would like to talk just for a while about chords, and we are always working with drop voicings, always using the drop 2 voicings, and these are the positions that I suggest to you to learn, taken from the book Schemi per chitarra rivolti dalle tetradi. These are always easy positions, not too difficult, but really important to know. Okay, I show these positions to you, starting from this one, which is one of the worst for me, because I got this problem with the pinky. You know, my fingers are not so, they are a little bit, like, you know, I don't know how to explain this in English, sorry. Not so well done. Okay, so this is a C major 7th with the 5th as lowest note, so this is a second inversion for C major 7th. I am always playing in the four central strings. Okay, this is a second inversion for C major 7th. Then we go to a root position for D minor 7. The lowest note is A minor 7th, the 6th degree. And then we go to D minor 7th with the 5th as lowest note, so this is a second inversion for D minor 7th. And then we go to G7th in a root position, G7th, 5th degree. So one more time, C major 7th, 1st degree, second inversion, A minor 7th, root position, 6th degree, D minor 7, second inversion, 2nd degree, and G7, root position, 5th degree, dominant 7th chord. And one more time. So now we start to know a lot of these drop 2 voicings. The first one that I explained you is this one, starting from C major 7 root position, then then A minor 7 second inversion, D minor 7 root position, and G7 second inversion. The second one that I showed you is this one, starting from the first inversion, C major 7, third inversion, A minor 7, first inversion, D minor 7, and third inversion for G7, and back to C major 7 first inversion. And now this one, starting from C major 7 second inversion, A minor 7 root position, D minor 7 second inversion, and G7 root position, back to C major 7 second inversion. Okay, so these are the new positions that we can study, we can learn in some way. But I would like to explain you how to start learning these drop voicings in different ways, because of course we can play these blocks made from 4 notes, and we can use them, and we can do a lot of things, a lot of compings with using this. But we can also start to use just some notes for each one of these chords, of these positions. So for example, if I play this one, and I just choose to play 3 notes, not 4 notes anymore, I can play the highest 3 notes, for example. So I will play just these 3 notes. Then I will go to A minor 7, just with 3 notes, D minor 7, just 3 notes, and G7, 3 notes. So I play just parts of this. I'm not using anymore the complete fingering for the arpeggio. I'm not playing the complete fingering and just playing some strings. No, I learn a new way to play these parts. Here I'm playing the highest 3 notes, but I can play the lowest 3 notes. Now I can play the lowest note and the 2 highest notes. Then I can play the 2 lowest notes and the highest one. So I will play this. In the same way, I can do the same on using all of the other drops that I learned in this series, but I can also choose to play just 2 notes. So remember, I'm not playing the whole position for these chords, because during music, during improvisation, sometimes I can just choose to play a part of it, you know, and so I have to be used, I have to learn the easiest way to play this, just 2 notes, just 3 notes, and I have to practice this, because if I only practice full chords, at the end I will try to use always full chords, but if I want to play just parts of it, it's better if I also practice parts. Okay, so for example, if I play only the 2 highest notes, I will play these 2 notes, and then A minor 7, these 2 notes, and then D minor 7, these 2 notes, and G7, these 2 notes, and then back. If I play the lowest 2 notes, for example, I will play then these 2 notes, then these 2 notes, and these 2 notes. If I play the 2 central notes, I will play these 2 notes, these 2 notes, these 2 notes, and then these 2 notes one more time, and back. Okay, if I play the lowest and the note play on the A string and the note play on the G string, I will play this. Then I will play this. Then I will play this. And I will play this. And this. Okay, so the concept is easy, but it's not so easy to practice all of these combinations, and it's not so easy to integrate this in our playing. So it's really important to practice this a lot while you think to inversions. You know, while you practice inversion, you can ask yourself, if I play just these two notes, or if I play just these two notes, how it sounds? You can sing it, as I told you in the past lessons, and you can sing the melodies that you are going to create using just these two notes, but it's really important that you can practice just these positions, you know. So this is something that I suggest to you to try to do, and you can do the same with all of the fingerings that we learned for these 4 chords. As you can see, just working in a turnaround, in a major turnaround, which seems to be the easiest thing in the world to learn, at the end we can really practice a lot of different things. We can learn a lot of different things. And my life is always like this. I always try to imagine something more that I can learn practicing basic things. And this is what this is my trip. This is something that I really like, I really love. Not to work always with complex stuff or something that can seem really complex, but looking for different points of view using always easy stuff. And of course then during my life I will go on always, and I'm going on always trying to learn other things and different ways to practice them. But I'm sure that just practicing easy stuff you can play great music, and the point is, what can you do with this easy stuff? Because a lot of people is looking always for complicated things just because they look for a different sound because they can't reach that sound using easy stuff. But also using easy stuff you can have that kind of sound. For example, if I practice these arpeggios, these opened arpeggios, or these 2 notes, I can playing along. But I start from C, for example. A minor 7, D minor 7, G7, C major, A minor, D, G7. And these are arpeggios without playing 2 notes in between. I don't know how to say this. But the sound starts to be interesting, but they are only arpeggios. If I play some notes between them, between these positions, I can play. This is easy as a concept, but in some way I like it. I don't know if you like it, but I like it, and it helps me in being able to improvise using easy stuff, but trying to have a good sound in doing that. So these are the 3 things that I wanted to share with you. And now if you have any question about everything, not only about what I explained here, please write, and I will be happy to. Telmo, for example, asks, Riccardo, the musical examples you show was from another book, the arpeggios and the licks. No, sorry, the lick that I explained today is not in any book I wrote. It's just something that I use with my students to explain something. Hi Gianfranco, thank you for being here. And yes, I'm going to write, I always write these books to try to explain things, but this material about arpeggios, broken arpeggios, and is not in a book. I didn't write this in any book. I will in the future, but I don't want to spend all of my time always writing books. I already wrote 8 in a few days, I think. So if everything is alright with you, if you have anything to ask on any doubts about what I said and what I explained here, it would be nice for me to try to answer. Will you later explain how to integrate altered tones in this turnaround? Okay, this is a good question, Jean. I'm not sure about this. Not because I don't want to talk about this. I will surely talk about this in future videos. But I think that if we spend 12 weeks, so 12 episodes, I think that they will be 12 episodes for this major turnaround workout. And if we spend just 12 weeks practicing just the measure scale and arpeggios from the measure scales and modes only in a diatonic way, so without using chromatics and without using alterations, it will be really a good opportunity for us to understand really how to use this, because I think that if you know very well the 7th notes that you have to play in, it will be much easier to start understanding how to use the 5 notes that you can use to play out. And if you really know very well in each portion of the fretboard where you can play the good stuff, the in sounds, it becomes easier to play the out sounds, okay? And so for this, I prefer to spend these 12 weeks just practicing really easy stuff, and I suggest you to try to stay with me. I know that it's not easy, and sometimes we want to rush and we want to do different things because we see the world, and all the world is full of examples for everything. But ask yourself if you really know everything that I explain. This is something that I suggest you to try to do. Ask yourself if you really know everything I do, and ask yourself how much you can play this stuff fast. So if you can play it slow, it's okay. It's the starting point, and it's the best starting point for everyone. But after learned it slow, ask yourself to go a little bit faster, and then a little bit faster more, and in this way try to understand what is your point where you start having troubles with this, some issues, troubles with with playing this stuff, okay? If you do this, I think that if we are honest with ourselves, at the end we start understanding that there are a lot of things that we can learn just from easy stuff, you know, just practicing easy stuff. And in some way, there is a sentence that Wynton Marsalis said. I don't know if you like him. If you like, I loved, and sometimes I love Wynton Marsalis. I listened to his recordings when I was young, and 16, 18, and his sentence is, I don't know if I can translate this in English because I know it in Italian. It is the technique is something that makes music more moral. I think moral is the correct term. I don't know how to say. In some way, if we spend energies playing technique and understand the technique, also in a deep way, we become better persons, not only better musicians, I think. So, because, you know, this is a really superficial world nowadays. We go from in internet from here to there, and we want to learn all of these things, but at the end, just on an arpeggio, we can learn a lot of different things. So I suggest to try to do this together with me for 12 weeks if you want, and it will be nice at the end. Maybe you will not be able to practice and study all of the things during these 12 weeks, because Telmo, for example, wrote me that he hasn't got the books yet, so he's just practicing arpeggios. And I hope, Telmo, for example, if you can also try to practice something around modes. Also, if you don't have the book, try to figure out some fingerings. Just then, when you will have the book, of course, it will help you a lot. But for now, just try to follow different, because I don't want, you know, we always wait for the next video. We always for the next thing to understand, because our brain is like this. We always want to learn something new, something that we don't know, and we become bored when someone is repeating the same concepts that you already know. But the truth is, okay, I know these concepts, but I really can apply this in my playing, or I really know it on my guitar very well. This is quality, you know. Knowing a concept is something, of course, is the starting point, but being able to play this stuff very well, or enough well to play it during our improvisations, is a completely different level. Okay, so ask yourself, what is your point? This is my suggestion. Of course, everyone can do everything, so it's not a rule. But to my students, I usually try to always say, stay there. Practice again. Don't run away from this, and you will have time to learn difficult stuff later. Also because something that we understand, or something that we practice with our fingers on guitar, it doesn't mean that we can hear it. So we have to take care also about how we can metabolize this, if this term exists, I'm not sure, but how can we can make this tool natural? We can feel it, we can hear it, you know, and this is completely different, because our brain and our body and our instinct, they have different rhythms. We can understand a concept in 1 second, in a second, like this, but after having understood this concept, to really be able to play it and to feel it and to all of these different things that we need to be able to play music, it's not so easy. It's not so easy. I ask always myself to sing modes, for example, and sometimes I get wrong notes. Oh, this is not correct. Why, I ask myself? Because my brain is not perfect. We are not machines. We are human beings. And to become better, we have to practice more, you know. Try to become instinctive in our playing, but knowing what we do. So, do you know that sentence? Learn everything and then forget it. I don't know who said this. Charlie Parker? I don't know. Maybe someone said this. It means that, yes, learn, but what is learn is not only understanding. It's also feel and be able to play this everywhere, for example. Pat Metheny is practicing, he said that he is practicing always the same stuff from when he started playing to now. So it means if Pat Metheny is practicing always the same stuff, I ask myself, but what is this the same stuff to practice for a whole life, you know? So this is a path during our life. It is like if we were working on a sculpture, which is our life, which is our ability to play during all of our life, you know. And I hope you would like to, I hope that you want to try to do this together with me. And at the end, if you have good results, if you start understanding something more, please write me. Tell me, because I will be very happy about this. If you just learned something more just because you followed these videos, okay? So this is something important to me, because it's not only about work, it's not only about money, but it is also about quality of thinking. A lot of people is doing great videos or online, and this is cool, and I watch a lot of these videos, and I'm happy to learn from them. But the point is that all of these persons that have to create more videos, always more videos just to entertain people, they are good, they are doing a good job, of course. Crazy job. A lot of people really working hard online. But remember that it's not that the rhythm with that we have to learn these things. We can watch videos, of course, but we are not learning all of this stuff, you know. We have to remember that our abilities to learn are much slower than their ability to create videos. This is really important. And for this, Jean, I would like to stay on the right notes taken from the C major scale, and then in the future we can create a different something different, to talk about chromatics, maybe to talk about alterated scales, diminished scales, and start using them. But if you follow this path together with me, it will be easier then to follow me also in those difficult things, more difficult. They are not more difficult, because at the end an alterated scale is just 7 notes, so it's not difficult. But it's different, you know. It's out of the sound that we can manage better also. So I think that this could be enough for today. Do you have anything more to ask before we go? Oh, you wrote something. Memories. Antonio, I don't understand. What do you mean, memories? If you want to explain us, please explain. Your answer sounds very logical. Thank you. You're welcome, Jean. Maybe next you will explain how to play grouping note. Play grouping note. Okay, grouping note, I don't know what it means. Yeah, I can imagine what it means, but if you want to explain us, I will try to understand if it works for our videos. Really enjoy these sessions. Thank you so much. Thank you, Telmo. Hope you continue these sessions for a long time. Great stuff. It's good not just for the guitar, but also for the soul. Thank you, Telmo. This is very important to me. This is very important to me. This is a bad period. We have a lot of difficulties, and of course we are closed in our homes. And I don't know what to say, because it's so sad. A lot of people suffering, and yes, we have to try to do something good. And internet can be a good place to do something good, also if a lot of people use it just to do bad things, okay? But we can use it in a good way, I think. So please, guys, if you want to... Memories, maybe Antonio is meaning memories of when I was his teacher. I don't know, because I was teacher in Rovigo. Antonio was a student of mine. Now he is a really good guitar player. Very good guitar player. So, in the future, this can go on. Maybe also, I was thinking about rhythm changes, for example. I was thinking about the blues. I was thinking about practicing together, arpeggios and scales. Maybe if you really become good, we can do some sessions just practicing without talking. And I was thinking about jam sessions in a strange way, because I can't hear you. I can listen to you while you play, but you can listen to me and to the backing tracks. So maybe I can comp and you improvise, you play the melodies at home. And so in this way, a lot of people can play together with me. Of course, I'm not playing together with you, but in some way it could be good anyway, to just to spend a little of time together. Okay, so this is it, guys. I hope you like it. If you, as you know, I am also posting these videos on YouTube, so I'm trying to make my YouTube channel going better, which is a really hard work, and I think that you believe me, you can trust me when I say that I'm not doing this just for subscribers, but in some way, yes, I am an artist, and in some way I try also to have an audience, of course, so we can do both these things, and I'm not shy in saying this, because if you play music, you want to play music for someone. And I recorded my CD. You know, I published my last CD in January. And yes, it seems that you work a lot to learn, but it's really difficult to be heard from someone. So if you can and if you want, I just ask you to share. If you see one of my videos, one of these, I'm posting these videos also on my YouTube channel. So if you are not a subscriber on my YouTube channel, if you want, please subscribe. And if you want to share something, I will say thank you to you for this. But it's not on the only point. Yes, I believe in music. I believe in other things, not only business. And I don't want to be one of those musicians crazy about becoming famous. You know, I just post my stuff and I post my music, trying to help other people, but also because, of course, internet is a good way to be known. So both of these things can work together, and I think that they can work for all of us in a good way. At the end, when I discover someone doing good things, I usually subscribe and I usually follow him or her, and I thank for what they do. There is a lot of people knowing a lot of things, so it's nice, you know. Okay, thank you very much for watching and for staying here. Bye bye, guys. And if you want, I can play a few notes more, just trying if my hands are good enough. I play just on this turnaround. Maybe now I will try to play using open intervals, not too open intervals, but this kind of arpeggios and stuff like this. I try. I'm not sure I can. Okay, guys, see you. Thank you. Thank you for watching and for staying here. We are 8 people here, and I really like and I really thank you for this. Luca, hi Luca, and see you next week for a new episode. If you want to share, please do it, and thank you. And if you know friends that can enjoy this, can like this, tell them about this new idea. Bye bye, see you next week. Ciao ciao.